colors,
Hey, check it out. Welcome to Westside Wednesdays radio show. I am G-Lew, your host for the evening, your host with the most. This is the G-Lew show, and this is world famous Westside Wednesdays radio show. Hold up.
Man, y'all know what we do. We chillin' with G-Lew. We stay on point like Stacey Adams.
Okay, I just had to get a quick introduction. I am G-Lew. Shout out to everyone tuned in from across the world, from the land to Japan. This is the G-Lew show again, Westside Wednesdays radio show with G-Lew and Miss Queen Jean. Queen Jean is out tonight. She's not feeling too good, so prayers up for Queen Jean. Hope you feel better. Before we get started, let me give a shout out to our sponsors. First and foremost, BTP Media Group, Jeff Quan and the Quan Glomerate out of the Bay Area. Follow them on all platforms. BTP Media Group, they make a lot of things happen. About to get back cracking with some new interviews coming up later the end of the year and the top of the year. So stay tuned. Shout out to BTP Media Group. Also, shout out to 93 Point Tweed FMism. Every Thursday night, the 93 Point Tweed FMism is your station to be. Just turn over right here on Blog Talk Radio a little bit to your right. You'll find Tweed Cadillac, 93 Point Tweed. Every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. Classic lowrider oldies. The homie does it. Interviews everyone from the Temprees to the Temptations, homie. So tune in. I co-host with the homie Thursday nights, Tweed Cadillac. Also, shout out to Dee Dee Hairston, the author, publisher, producer. She has a gang of books on Amazon. Go follow her. Check up on her books. Dee Dee Hairston. Also, she's the producer of After Hours on YouTube with the G-Lew Show. Shout out also to Street Level Clothing. You want the OG golf hats? Go to streetlevelclothing.com. Tell them G-Lew sent you and get a discount. Also tap in with my homeboy Papa Pierre from Long Beach. Pierre, he has the golf hats as well. Also shout out to Noramani Candles. Noramani Candles. Independent, sells candles. The flyest, dopest, safest candles you can find on the market. Noramani Candles. Independently owned in Southern California. Follow them on IG, Noramani Candles, or the website is noramaniCandles.com. Shout out to Cousin Marcy as well. Also, make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go over there, man, if you haven't already. We're on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, the G-Lew Show YouTube, cracking on. We got fresh interviews every Friday night. We got interviews. We got the #1 Sunday show, Oldies Rule Forever Sundays. We play all the classic oldies, man. Sunday nights, 9:30 p.m. Pacific. And we got conversations in the hookah lounge every Saturday with the ladies. So go over to the G-Lew Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, homie. With that being said, man, we got a special show for you tonight. As you know, we've been celebrating 50 years of hip-hop all year. It's the 50th year anniversary of hip-hop. And it's Westside Wednesday. So we want to show love and support to the West Coast, man, because a lot of people don't know the story of the West, how it was formatted, what was done. They just know NWA and gangster this and gangster that and whatever the West Coast contributed, which was a lot. So we want to pay honor and tribute for 50 years of hip-hop for the West Coast and get you some of the stories, the backdrops of how things begin, not only on the West Coast, specifically L.A., because that's where I grew up at. That affected me the most. And there's a lot of history in L.A. when it comes to hip-hop, you know, so we want to showcase that tonight. So we're going to play a two-part series of some documents and things, and we're going to have the homie on the second one who documented. He's supposed to stop through. I haven't heard back from him yet, but he's supposed to come on and talk more about it. So I'm going to play a little bit of history for you all, man, of L.A. hip-hop. First, we're going to kind of tribute because it's coming up on 40 years anniversary for K-Day. You know, if you grew up in L.A., you know K-Day. It's 93.5 now on FM, but back in the day it was 1580 AM with a brother named Greg Mack who spearheaded it all. And K-Day had a lot of history. I grew up on K-Day. You know, so we're going to showcase classic and history of L.A. hip-hop, more so with K-Day on this one. And then the second part, we're going to break everything down from old to new. So check this out. It's 50 years of hip-hop on the G-Lew Show, L.A., history of hip-hop. Also, the phone lines are open. You want to call in. Anything you want to contribute, any stories, any questions you want to talk about with L.A. hip-hop, feel free to do so. That's what we're here for. So we're going to get right to it. Let me see. Let's go.
Hip-hop opened the door wide open. You could be whatever you can envision, whatever you want to become. Hip-hop is your culture. It's your flavor, it's your color, and your style.
Around 1985, we started noticing that things were changing. And then all of a sudden, people that I knew who weren't even into gangbanging, they started gangbanging. And so it just exploded like in one summer.
This is not what hip-hop is about, bro.
The Run DMC show was the flashpoint.
We did a big concert in Long Beach. I heard this loud thud, and I looked behind me, and someone had gotten thrown over the the rails upstairs, and they were just laying there.
And it just made people rethink hip hop.
The atmosphere, right, at that time, 82, 83 for us kids, was an atmosphere of hip hop. We started rejecting the music of our parents at some level and wanted to create a movement, an ethos, for ourselves.
When this hip hop flavor explodes, I see it for the first time. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that it was labeled freedom. I knew it just opened a whole new world for me.
Hip hop has all these people, and we're all different, It still was like an underground thing. I didn't really know what my category was until hip hop became a culture. The DJ, the scrapping, and the breakdancing, and we all got under this umbrella. That's when I embraced what hip hop, what the moniker is.
All of a sudden, you can demonstrate this aggression without shooting or killing someone, without beating someone down. You're able to battle them and pop and rap. And you started seeing MCs starting to formulate rhyme patterns and lyrical compositions.
There was no geniuses in the beginning. Nobody was great in the beginning. We all were stumbling in the dark trying to figure our way through this thing, and some of us found the light faster than others.
It was escapism. In the beginning, you were escaping pain and welfare and the big yellow block cheeses that the government would give you and the blue chip stamps to go get yourself a toaster, and you were escaping suffering, man. You were escaping pressures and prejudice.
Most of us were just hustlers. That's what we did. We hustled to make money. That dances were how we made money.
The party life that you see, the early Uncle Jam's Army, the Wrecking Crew, were bringing thousands of people at Alpine Village, Shrine Auditorium.
They did not need a headlining act. It was just them. People paid just to come see Uncle Jam's Army up there on stage playing records.
And it's like I couldn't believe my eyes. It was thousands of kids. And there was no groups performing. It was just DJs. I had never seen that.
The swap meets were the places that we first got those songs. I mean, you go to a booth and you'd see a bunch of the cassettes in the 12 inches, and folks would play them, or they had a DJ there playing this stuff to kind of debut it, or you'd be walking around the swap meet and you hear the music and you gravitated towards it.
50,000 watts. AM stereo, KDAY, Santa Monica, Los Angeles.
When they offered me the job, I was at 1580 KDA, Los Angeles. That was August of 1983. What I figured out is that you don't really need to go around to see what people are listening to. All you have to do is open your window. And so I opened my window, and all I heard was Run DMC and Curtis Blow and anything Sugar Hill, and it was just blasted. But yet, I figured out that radio wasn't playing it. What the heck?
Wow. It just focuses by itself, huh?
KD became a major force of hip-hop.
I think a lot of the changes can be credited to Greg Mack.
Rap is the hottest thing going on in music. It's the hottest selling form of music going on right now, and it's the most expressionist type of music happening now. It's real. That's what rap is. It's reality. The essence of rap is creativity, uniqueness, originality, the future.
Greg Mack made it a point. He was like, yo, I have this platform. I have a way to play music. Therefore, I'm going to play the music of the streets.
KD has given a exposure to rap that a lot of stations are afraid to give. A lot of the rappers say KD is really the only black station left.
The people that we started at 1580 KD were NWA, Dr. Dre, Ice-T, Ice Cube, Queen Latifah, LL Cool J. It wasn't just a West Coast thing, but we had a lot of East Coast artists. Anybody that came out in the 80s and then most of the 90s, and many are still going, got their start through 1580 KD.
There was one point where you could literally go into the studio make a cassette tape of something you just finished recording, take it to K-Day, they would cart it right up, and you driving home, you hearing it on the radio already. Like, it's not even released yet. What y'all doing? But that's how the relationship was.
And if it was good, yes, before they would leave, that song would be on the radio. I had a totally open door policy.
They would do rhythms, and they would mix helicopter sounds. They would do railroad tracks. It was just amazing. On the microphone, battle raps, DJ Style was cutting it up, and KDAY was pumping out rap music 24/7.
Wrecking Crew, Uncle Jam's Army, we ran the streets. K-Day ran the airwaves.
So around 1985, we started noticing that things were changing in the community. And then all of a sudden, people that I knew who weren't even into gangbanging, they started gangbanging. The drug trade had shifted from the East Coast to the West Coast. And so it just exploded like in one summer.
You would go to the streets and they were selling little bags of $5, $10, $20 crack cocaine. And so that explodes in the city of Los Angeles, and that is what killed the first phase of pure hip-hop as we knew it from 1980 to 1984.
The other thing I noticed is that we shifted from sort of the happy, fun, up-tempo music to now the mixtapes that we were hearing were more about promoting drugs and crime and talking about the police and police brutality.
The baddest breakers that I knew ended up going out and slinging and showing up with their gazelles and their lowriders. They were making money like Hex, come and join us. I'm like, bro, this is not what hip hop is about, bro. Everything that we've been doing for the last few years had nothing to do with the drugs and the gangs that we came out from. So you guys are heading back?
The Run DMC show was the flashpoint, from the perspective of a lot of people. That was sort of like the linchpin that made people recognize and realize, whoa, this is something different here, that's going on.
I was in that show with Run DMC here in Long Beach. Houdini wore red colors. They wore red leather and the cowboy hat, whatever, and somehow or another, this is what I heard. There's Crips in Long Beach. They're Crips. It's all blue. And when those guys came to Long Beach in red or whatever, the Crips were like, no, whatever. And somebody said something verbally. A gang war happened between the red and blue.
Long Beach. We did a big concert in Long Beach, and I was hosting it. And right when I was introducing a group, the group Houdini, I heard this loud thud, and I looked behind me, and someone had gotten thrown over the rails upstairs. And when they did that, it was almost like, if it's a track meet and you hear the gun and you run. And so when that hit, it was like the gun starting the track meet.
They run up on stage to go look for LL Cool J with his red Kangol. It turned into a major pandemonium, a major riot before the LAPD arrived. So many people got shot.
And so I asked the security guy that was on the stage, I said, look, I got a couple of people with me out in the audience. Can you help me get to them so I can get them out of here? And he took off his security shirt. He says, man, they don't pay me enough to F with this. And he left.
Where's the fun? What is all this glass breaking and gunshots and knives and all that? I mean, that's traumatic, right? I didn't understand all that until later. And I realized very quickly, gangs were infiltrating the dance circles to meet rival gangs.
I get out to my car, and right next to my car is two Hispanic guys in one of the lowrider Cadillacs, and they were pulling two machine guns out of their trunk right next to me. And I'm like telling my friends, get in the car.
A lot of people got hurt that day, and it just made people rethink hip-hop.
So as a radio station, 1580 K-Day, we decided to stop the music. And so for one day, we stopped the music. We got friends of mine, Run DMC, Barry White, who taught me a lot about the streets in LA. He came and got on the air with us. And we had other guests coming throughout the day. And we just stopped and talked, created a gang truce. And it did work for a while. But basically, we were the only station at that time really giving them hip-hop. So for them to not have their hip-hop for one day, they stopped and listened.
After the Long Beach thing, we became very scrutinized of where we were going, because now LA changed. So we would go to house parties and we'd be dancing and people were like, get down, what? Bow, 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 oh my God. When is it going to stop? When the police come?
After the Long Beach show, no venue would allow hip-hop in Los Angeles. You could still probably do the skating rinks or, some nightclubs, but it was just cut out everywhere.
So now you had to dress in black and Raiders hats, and everyone had Uzis on the streets back then, man. LAPD started busting like you wouldn't believe. The depression comes back to Los Angeles, a cloak of darkness over the whole city. And that was when I saw the whole culture dissolve right before my eyes.
That period of 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, where you had a rich and robust sort of burst of energy on the West Coast, it is significant because that was the engine that pushed us into the next era. I wish I could take people and put them in a time machine and transport them back then, because there was a healthy competition. It was a healthy amount of energy. It was a new birth of hip hop, and it's been sort of missed a lot in the translation from then to now.
It's Westside Wednesdays, the G-Lew Show, bitch. OG music.
The West Coast is back, motherfuckers. Now how gangsta is that? Bitch.
Young niggas at the pad throwing up gang signs. Here's a little something about a nigga like me. Roll up the gas and it's down the avenue. I'm a player, bitch. I thought you knew.
You wanna keep a nigga like me up to the roof? Can't say the real nigga for South Beach. Be a real true P.I.M. Can't say the real nigga for South Beach. Beat motherfuckers down in the street.
America's more than 3 8, yeah. But you don't know me, a record can't tell ya. You motherfuckers know who run the streets with that hardcore hip-hop rap shit. Now I'm scared to pull the trigger on a punk-ass nigga. Then I play my old shit, it went something like this. I keep my heel on good, cause they got me on the run. Just recognize the real way the gangsters ride. You never heard of a more wicked nigga? You wanna know what it means? Definition. It's all the way around, nigga, I get respect. We fuck around a two-rider. Don't put the two on the two, don't never perpetrate. It doesn't make a difference, cause it's about who's the quickest on the draw to end all existence.
The gangsta Mac, the pick, the hustler.
Who keep on coming while we running for your juice? Steady gunning, steady gunning.
I'm coming at them, smacking them, steady cracking them, steady cracking them. You better come prepared, cause it gets kinda wicked. Yeah, cause you can walk the plank if you're teaming for my back.
Got power, just now or never, more than ever. Pimpin' hoes and clacking a grip like my name was Dolomite.
Definition, street player, you know who I mean, I roll. The Westside Wednesdays radio show, Blog Talk Radio, OG music, G-Lew. Yes, sir. And we are back, Westside Wednesdays radio show. As we continue on with this again, this part series of celebrating 50 years of hip hop, we want to showcase West Coast hip hop and specifically LA hip hop. So just a little more history we're showcasing here tonight on this Westside Wednesdays radio show. A little history on LA hip hop for the people who don't know. So check out this second part series as we continue on the LA hip hop history.
Many people might not know that the famous riots of 1992 in Los Angeles were in fact a remake. The original Watts riots of 1965 were a less star-studded affair, but in many ways they were the big bang of rap music. After a police confrontation following the harassment of a black motorist, things escalated into a fight and reports of a pregnant woman being beaten by police began to circulate, and before long rioting and looting had broken out in the city for 6 days.
Friday, for the first time, there was widespread looting and rioting in broad daylight. You'd see happy, laughing looters toting off furniture, clothing, even outboard motors. Finally, 7 hours after Police Chief William Parker asked for the National Guard, Lieutenant Governor Glenn Anderson ordered in 2,000 troops.
The impact on LA was pure devastation. 34 people lost their lives, over 1,000 were injured, and the city sustained $40 million in damages, which doesn't sound too bad, but considering the fact this was 1965, that would be over $300 million in today's prices. 4 months was spent creating a report into what caused the riot, and whilst unrest in this impoverished community was identified as a cause of the riot, very little effort was made to actually fix the problems that were going on in Watts and other areas of Los Angeles. In the face of lacking government support for the inner cities following the riots, a man named Bud Schulberg decided to help in the only way that he knew how, by starting the Watts Writers Workshop.
I said, I'm only one person, but as a writer, maybe I could start a writing class. So I did. I simply put up a notice saying creative writing class every Wednesday, 3 o'clock.
The workshop provided an outlet for young African-American artists in Watts and the surrounding areas to have a voice and express themselves creatively.
I smile. I'm here. I'm glad I'm here despite the bit of pain and fear. The pain feels good.
And the Watts Writers Workshop eventually received funding from several different bodies, including the Rockefeller Foundation, Peace to the Rock. And from these writers' workshops emerged a group called the Watts Prophets, a spoken word street performance clique from Texas and Louisiana. Their 1971 record, Rappin' Black in a White World, was one of the earliest references to the word rapping. But to be honest, it didn't really resemble rapping as we know it today, and it was a lot closer to rhythmic, spoken word poetry and song. The Watts Prophets were sampled by and influenced an enormous wave of contemporary big-name rappers, including Snoop Dogg, who talked about their influence in his Nardwuar interview.
You mentioned Watts in it. What can you tell the people about the Watts Prophets and their record?
Wow, you got the Watts Prophets album? This is heavy.
The work of the Watts Prophets was pretty hard-hitting social commentary. Their poetry rallied against injustice against the black community, and in many ways their words still hold up to this day. Their music's a far cry from modern rap music. In fact, listening to one of their projects, I didn't once hear the sound skirt. I suppose ad-libs kind of undercut a serious political message. I guess that's why Bernie Sanders fired that hype man.
Support that idea as well. All right. 4 years ago, we were talking about the ugliness, vulgarity of the United States having more people in jail than any other country on earth.
Okay.
Disproportionately African American, Latino, and Native American.
What?
And we said that maybe instead of investing in jails and incarceration, we should invest in our young people in jobs and education.
However, beyond the phrase rap as a form of poetry, hip-hop in Los Angeles began to take shape around the 70s, when a young DJ from Compton by the name of Alonzo Williams began performing under the name Disco Construction. Alonzo Williams has been referred to as the godfather of West Coast hip-hop. A West Coast Wiley, if you will. Williams partnered with another DJ called Roger Clayton, but the two would eventually part ways. Williams would go on to start the group the World Class Wrecking Crew, which you may remember was the original group that Dr. Dre and DJ Yella were part of before founding NWA. The group were actually famously known for wearing glam rock-esque clothing, which was reportedly part of the reason why Dr. Dre actually lost interest in the group and left. And of course, Dr. Dre's feminine outfits were famously mocked by Eazy-E later on when he referred to Dr. Dre as a she-thing. Man, if Eazy-E saw what Lil Uzi Vert was wearing these days, he'd roll in his fucking grave. But Alonzo's business partner, Roger Clayton, would go on to start the DJ group Uncle Jam's Army. And they would go on to become one of the biggest DJ groups in Los Angeles, eventually going on to sell out huge venues like the LA Coliseum. Around this time, the music scene was focused a lot more on DJing than rapping, which caused hip-hop to have a much closer affinity with the electro music scene and breakdancing. Another landmark was in 1982 when Duffy and Jerry Hooks launched the Rappers Rap record label, the first LA rap label that was inspired by the Sugar Hill Gang's success over in New York. Their first act, Captain Rap, dropped his single The G-Lew Rap in 1981, but this failed to get any big traction. But the Captain continued steering his lyrical ship across the open waters of early hip-hop, and 2 years later had more success with the song Bad Times, a politically conscious response to Grandmaster Flash's The Message. However, in contrast to the socially conscious writing of, say, the Watts Prophets, or to a lesser extent the later work of Captain Rap, the earliest foundations of gangster rap emerged in the mid-80s with the likes of Compton Posse, started by Mixmaster Spade. Spade went on to mentor future stars such as Toddy T, who'd had an early hit in 1985 with his song The Batarang, an ode to the classic move of the cops smashing in your door with a long stick, as was immortalized in the movie Straight Outta Compton. Now that's how you pull up with a stick. By the mid-80s, things were heating up and the seeds of NWA's gangster rap success were finally being sown. Alonzo Williams of the World Class Wrecking Crew founded Crew Cut Records and built a recording studio in the back of his nightclub, Eves After Dark. And this is where Eazy-E and Jerry Heller would actually set up Ruthless Records. However, LA rap and hip-hop in general in the 80s weren't quite as developed as they needed to be to get mainstream attention. I think Donald Glover summed it up best.
Have you ever listened to rap back in the day? It's always some dude being like, well, I went to the hat store today and I bought myself a hat.
But that was all about to change with the introduction of the greatest innovation in hip-hop history. No, I'm not talking about the ad-libs. I'm talking about gangster rap. For the longest time, iced tea was just a delicious beverage. However, in the early 1980s, Ice-T the Rapper emerged, mainly rapping over electro beats as early as 1983 with his song The Coldest Rap. But it was his 1986 track 6 in the Morning that's often hailed as the first gangster rap song of all time. The track describes a harrowing story of him having to escape the cops early in the morning. Though Ice-T himself proclaims that his biggest influence for this song was Schoolie D, the Philadelphia rapper who made the song PSK, What Does It Mean, which is often considered the very first gangster rap song of all time. PSK stands for Parkside Killers, a Philadelphia gang hell-bent on ruining picnics all over the city. But whoever you think started it, gangster rap was carried forward by acts all over the United States. But the true explosion of gangster rap would happen in 1988 when NWA dropped their groundbreaking album Straight Outta Compton. Compton as a place was immortalized by NWA's tracks and to a lesser extent fellow early Compton rapper King T. And of course later Compton or Bompton was immortally entrenched in hip-hop history through Soulja Boy's recent antics.
Who ain't from Fruits? Who ain't from Fruit Town? I'm walking through Bompton right now. I'm in my hood right now.
When NWA rose to fame, music was finally being considered as dangerous and bad, and not in the Michael Jackson sense of the words. When the track Fuck the Police dropped, the FBI were famously fuming and even sent the crew a letter expressing their concern over public safety due to the song, and several efforts were made to ban the crew.
We'll put you on tour, but you can't perform that song. Cops everywhere, they ready to shut you down. We was like, tonight, we gonna do that song. The whole Detroit Police Department rushed the stage.
But it seemed like no amounts of public outrage were enough to ban gangster rap or NWA, and the perceived danger of the genre only seemed to stoke interest and excitement all over the country.
It threatened criminal prosecution if the stores continued to sell the new NWA record to minors.
This is frankly offensive to me, and I think to any parent that would hear and would know what these lyrics are all about, they would find that it is nothing but filth.
But this kind of controversy sure was good at selling records, and NWA's E Phil for Zaggin album ended up becoming the first gangster rap album to go #1 in the United States. This put gangster rap and LA hip-hop at the forefront of music all over the world. And it was also around this time that Latino rappers were also allowed to flourish, including the likes of Kid Frost, who came through with his hit record La Raza, which you might actually recognize from the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas soundtrack. And interestingly, Kid Frost himself actually voiced the character T-Bone Mendez in that same video game.
What are you, Vato, stupid? Someone's onto us. We need to go back and rethink.
And beyond Kid Frost, in 1991, fellow Latin rap legend Cypress Hill came through with their hit tune, How I Could Just Kill a Man. That track would take them jumping around on tour with fellow LA party rap clique House of Pain, and it would also end up on the soundtrack to San Andreas as well. But from here, things began to evolve beyond gangster rap. And since his departure from NWA, Ice Cube's solo efforts began taking the genre in a much more socio-political direction. Cube took aim at institutional racism, inner city poverty, and people with stutters with his controversial album, America 'Cause Most Wanted. Meanwhile, it was Dr. Dre that was truly revolutionizing the gangster rap sound and bringing it to a mainstream audience with his monster hit album, The Chronic, released with the help of Suge Knight over at Death Row Records. Dr. Dre popularized the G-Funk sound as well as excessive weed smoking with this album that actually featured the debut for fellow G-Funk legend Nate Dogg. However, at this point, it would be fair to give an honorable mention to the LA crew Above the Law, who actually claimed to have invented the G-Funk sound during the period when Dr. Dre was working with them over at Eazy-E's Ruthless Records.
KMG, go ahead.
KMG from Above the Law.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Okay.
He wrote a verse and he said, a P-Funk tape wakes me up every morning.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I said, say G-Funk.
Right.
We didn't know we was naming nothing.
Yeah.
Right. He just put it in a rhyme, then we kept referring back to it, and then we realized it is G-Funk.
So even if you believe Above the Law were the people that got the G-Funk sound off of the ground, it was Dr. Dre that truly got it bouncing and moving in a three-wheel motion. And when Dr. Dre and Suge Knight discovered Snoop Dogg, G-Funk would finally take over the entire scene. Snoop Dogg had actually started out his career as part of a crew called the 213 with fellow G-Punk pioneers Nate Dogg and Warren G. Around the early days when Snoop Dogg was hustling with the 213, one of his early freestyle demo tapes managed to end up in the hands of Dr. Dre, who was immediately impressed, took Snoop Dogg under his wing, and mentored him, eventually producing some of his biggest hits of his career.
It was time to do my first solo album, The Chronic. I had no idea how I was going to do it, how it was going to get done, and then boom, here comes Snoop, right? But True Diamond in the Rough, I mean, Snoop is just pure, raw talent. Nobody sounds like Snoop. And then when he opens his mouth, you know exactly what it is, you feel me? No, not only that, but his style and charisma made me feel like he was destined to be a superstar.
Snoop Dogg came out of the gate with a huge career debut on the song Deep cover with Dr. Dre for the movie of the same name. And after appearing on Nothing But a G Thing, the first single from Dr. Dre's Chronic album, the foundations were set for big moves from Snoop Dogg from there on out. From there, he dropped the monster hits Who Am I and Gin and Juice from his huge debut album Doggy Style, and from there on out, Dre and Snoop would dominate the charts with the G-Funk sound. The Chronic hit number 3 on Billboard and went triple platinum. Doggy Style came in at number 1, went quadruple platinum, and ended up selling over 11 million copies worldwide. That's a hell of a lot of gin, juice, and weed sold. But if Dre and Snoop were rapping gangster, then it was Suge Knight that was truly living gangster. Prior to the success of The Chronic, the biggest financial windfall that Suge Knight had for Death Row Records was landing $4 million from Vanilla Ice in exchange for not tossing him off a balcony. But as the Death Row Records empire grew, so did Suge Knight's reputation as a savage enforcer.
At the age of only 30, and with a lengthy criminal record, including 3 felony convictions, Suge Knight has managed to become the head of a $100 million record company and one of the most powerful and feared men in the American music industry.
A watershed moment in hip-hop came at the 1995 Source Awards, when Suge Knight took the stage and decided to insult his East Coast rival Puff Daddy from Bad Boy Records, saying that anybody who didn't want their executives singing all over the songs and dancing all over the videos should come to Death Row.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
This was a huge inciting incident for the East Coast and West Coast hip-hop rivalries that were raging after LA-based Tupac had been shot outside of a recording session in New York that he'd blamed the Notorious B.I.G. for. Interestingly, it was that same speech at the 1995 Source Awards where Suge Knight also shouted out Tupac in an attempt to curry favor with the West Coast legend.
Like to tell Tupac, keep his guards up, we ride with him.
And only months after this did Suge Knight secure the bag for Tupac, posting a $1.4 million bond to secure Tupac's bail after a sexual sexual assault charge.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for just destroying everything I worked for the past 22 years, and a happy new year to you too. You did your job. I'm out of money. I'm out of all my resources. You made me look like the bad guy in my own community.
Can you move this down to your left,
please?
Tupac took this bail money in exchange for signing to Death Row Records, and quite frankly, in my opinion, signed a deal with the devil. Well, it's not really fair to compare Suge Knight to the devil. I mean, would the devil wear an outfit like this? Yeah, he probably would actually. The Death Row era would unfortunately mark the final act in Tupac's wild career journey. Whilst Tupac wasn't actually from LA, he'd moved there from Baltimore after growing up in New York. Over the years, he'd pioneered socially conscious rap through tracks like Brenda's Got a Baby, celebrated for being some of the best examples of hip-hop tracks highlighting social injustice. And still to this day, he's made some of the most impactful music in hip-hop history. It was during his time at Death Row Records where he dropped the classic California anthem, California Love, with fellow Death Row artist Dr. Dre, and Pac was clearly raking in the money for Suge Knight, with his Death Row released album All Eyes on Me going down as an instant classic. It went 5-time platinum in 2 months and charted at #1 on the Billboard chart, along with California Love and How Do You Want It both being #1 hits under Death Row Records. Unfortunately, the good times wouldn't last, and within a year of signing to Death Row Records, Tupac would be tragically gunned down in Las Vegas in a drive-by shooting.
Rap star Tupac Shakur died last night after a brief life in a rough business. He was 25.
The shooting had happened just after a fight had gone down in Las Vegas that involved both Pac and Suge Knight. Suge Knight actually ended up getting sentenced for 9 years in jail following a conviction on this fight due to the fact he was still on probation for a previous assault with a firearm. Unfortunately, Biggie Smalls would also die around 6 months later in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles.
Rapper Biggie Smalls was shot to death in Los Angeles early this morning while leaving a party. His death comes almost exactly 6 months to the day that another rapper, Tupac Shakur, was fatally shot in Las Vegas.
The shooting followed a music industry party celebrating the Soul Train Music Awards, where Notorious B.I.G. performed last year.
All of this drama put increased attention on Death Row's empire and showed the devastating effect of gangster rap beats that spilled into the streets. And by this point, the stink on Suge Knight was far too powerful to ignore. Dr. Dre had already left Death Row Records a few months earlier after growing disillusioned with the thug life mentality of many of Suge Knight's goons that had been around at all times. Snoop Dogg's second album, The Dogfather, was released on Death Row Records not long after Tupac's death. And whilst this strictly gangster outing did go platinum, by this point Snoop also wanted out of Death Row's evil empire. But because Snoop was on a tight, time-based contract, he opted to simply produce no tracks for Death Row Records until his contract was finally up and he was free. Interestingly, from this point on, Snoop Dogg toned down the more gangster elements of his music, and after beating his long-pending murder charge, he decided to distance himself from the gangster rap lifestyle.
It was like a certain part of my life in which I took the wrong route, more or less, and drifted into the wrong side of life. But I mean, I was blessed enough to bank back off of that, to still be alive and get a chance to do something positive, and I took that chance and did what I had to do.
And in the years that follow, LA rap began to lose steam. Don't get me wrong, the biggest names in the scene did manage to cling onto relevance through the late 90s and into the noughties. Dre, Exhibit, Ice Cube, and Snoop Dogg all continued to release big projects. But for a while, hip-hop was just being dominated by rappers from other regions. While Suge Knight was locked up in jail and in the aftermath of Biggie's death, P. Diddy's Bad Boy Records continued to flourish in New York alongside other New York artists like the Wu-Tang Clan and Jay-Z. But it was still LA legend Dr. Dre that would have the biggest hand in bringing through some of the most groundbreaking artists in hip-hop all over the country over the turn of the millennium. And even though he hailed from the rough parts of Detroit, it was actually in Los Angeles where Eminem would compete in the Rap Olympics and his mixtape would fall in the hands of Dr. Dre, who would become his mentor. For a moment, everyone had forgotten about Dre, but he was still representing for the gangsters all across the world. So after bringing Eminem from a trailer in 8 Mile in 1999 to winning an Oscar for Lose Yourself in 2003,
the Oscar goes to Eminem, Jeff Beck, and Luis Westside for Lose Yourself from 8 Mile.
And whilst in the process of reviving 50 Cent's career after he'd received a 9-bullet buffet, Dre quietly mentored an LA rapper who would bring the city of Los Angeles back to life musically, The Game. Often when I hear The Game, the first thing I think about is painting my fingernails black and harassing women at Whole Foods. But the rapper The Game was born in Compton to 2 parents that were primarily Crips living in the Crip-controlled Santana block. Unfortunately, to the disappointment of his folks, he grew up to be a Blood. You think telling your parents you want to do a liberal arts degree is bad? Try telling your Crip parents that you want to be a Blood. But after getting shot in 2001, The Game decided to use music as a route out of the gangster lifestyle. The success of his first mixtape, You Know What It Is, Volume 1 in 2002 got him his first taste of industry attention. But by 2003, The Game was signing a deal with fellow LA legend Dr. Dre and fellow connoisseur of shitty overpriced headphones Jimmy Iovine. but Dre would make a move that would end up eventually becoming terminal when he attempted to expedite the game's rise to fame by placing him in G-Unit with 50 Cent. The game had a cameo in 50 Cent's music video for In the Club, Dancing with Some Chick. Keep your hands to yourself, game. This early appearance would seem to suggest that the game was around long before 50 Cent became the megastar that we know him as today. While 50 Cent rose to the top, the game continued working behind the scenes whilst getting mentored by Dr. Dre for the next 2.5 years. Eventually, when the time and buzz were right, Dr. Dre oversaw the release of the game's smash hit album, The Documentary, which went double platinum and brought LA rap back to the forefront of the music industry. The game's rise to fame brought a lot of eyeballs back to LA, and local legends like Snoop Dogg, Exhibit, and Ice Cube all put out projects around this time to capitalize on the growing West Coast buzz. And despite its high profile and bitter falling out with 50 Cent and G-Unit, the game's buzz continued, and he went down as one of the biggest artists LA rap had ever seen. And how fitting is it for the man that put LA back on the map to have a face like a "You Are Here" sign? In the years that followed the game's gangster rap revival, other forms of music began to bubble in Los Angeles. Dr. Dre famously brought the next lyrical powerhouse in Los Angeles, Kendrick Lamar, under his wing, following K-Dot's discovery by LA mogul Anthony Tissus, aka Top Dog of TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, Kendrick's record label. And the success of Kendrick and his black hippie clan of cronies, including J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, and Ab-Soul, ushered in an era of almost post-gangster, conscious LA hip-hop. But in contrast to Kendrick's talent, which has undeniably been recognized by the mainstream hip-hop and music industry, but it would actually be in 2007 when Tyler, the Creator's Odd Future Collective would emerge, bringing alternative hipster rap to the forefront of LA music culture. Hip-hop and the line outside the Supreme store would never be the same again. Tyler and Odd Future's unique approach to production, as well as not taking everything so goddamn seriously on the mic, was a breath of fresh air to the rap game. In fact, for a hot minute, Tyler completely took over hip-hop in 2011 when he dropped his smash single Yonkers and ended up bringing home the trophy for Best New Artist at the 2011 VMAs.
Tyler, the Creator.
I wanted this since I was 9. I'm about to cry.
In fact, it was actually around this time that party rap begun to re-emerge on the LA hip-hop scene, especially around the time that the Cali Swag District taught everyone how to Dougie and brought back hip-hop dance culture to Los Angeles once and for all. But it was actually everybody's favorite DJ and nobody's favorite dip, DJ Mustard, who brought to the forefront the ratchet sound in hip-hop, taking LA back to those funky, fun times of music, giving the scene a similar vibe that it had back in the 80s. The watershed moment for ratchet music in Los Angeles was when Tyga dropped Rack City around 2011. In fact, Rack City was really a big moment in Tyga's career, putting him musically back on the map after having spent several years living in the shadows of Young Money and not getting paid by Birdman. It didn't take much time for the ratchet sound to take over LA as well as hip-hop at large. In fact, before long, you'd be hard-pressed to find a strip club in the United States where you couldn't clap cheeks whilst hearing the drop, "Muzzard on a beat, ho." And Mustard's influence spread through LA like a fluorescent yellow liquid on a danger dog made of musical meat. An entire new wave of legendary LA rappers emerged out of the renewed mainstream interest in the commercial sound of LA music. YG dropped his big debut, My Crazy Life, featuring extensive production from DJ Mustard. Hell, even Miley Cyrus and Justin Bieber decided to vulture the culture and jump on DJ Mustard beats of their own. And I'd argue in many ways that it was actually DJ Mustard that brought back the fun, commercial, party sound to hip-hop that it desperately needed to fully take over the mainstream. And I'd argue that in many ways, DJ Mustard's sound is exactly what the hip-hop scene needed to bring back that commercial sound and take it to the forefront of music in general. And it was this renewed energy that's allowed the entire current wave of huge LA rap artists to dominate the scene for the last 5 years. Whether it's Ty Dolla $ign, Kid Ink, Nipsey Hussle, or even more recently Roddy Ricch, it's that fun California party sound that has given so many big LA artists enormous hits in the past few years.
So, my time in LA was over. I know some people think that the story of LA hip-hop isn't my story to tell. The place where I grew up is more grey showers than Watts Towers. But one of the most beautiful things to happen to hip-hop over the past 20 years is just how far its influence has managed to reach. So, before you tear someone down for being a culture vulture, take a second to celebrate just how many people from different backgrounds all over the world have grown up to love and cherish hip-hop. Maybe the Watts Prophets, NWA, and even DJ Mustard might never have imagined that their art could have travelled to the shores of rainy old England, and sometimes even thousands of miles from Long Beach or Venice. If you listen close enough, you can look out onto the ocean of Bognor Regis and hear the echoes of ad-libs gone by.
Yo, what up? It's Breeze. Thanks for tuning in to the G-Lew Show on Westside Wednesdays, hosted by G-Lew. Our sponsors BTP Media and 93 Tweed FM ISM. Yeah.
Keep it in mind, I'm gifted with the strength to go the limp, and if it's rough enough to keep the crowd in a standstill, they catch contact from around that ill. Your hooking station, one good, it's smooth, done by one nation under a groove. Rhymes I keep dropping them, suckers I keep stopping them. Peas, I'm not copping them, attitudes, I'm stopping them. Speaking very clearly, so check the theory. If I was a car, you wouldn't have to steer me. Press the control, just let me roll and cruise. None other can match, cause they all catch the blues. It's only twos and fews, but none else can blow smoother. If you think you can, grab the stand and prove to me that you can and will. If not, just sit and chill. Bill fit in my pocket cause I fit the bill. Position myself to go longer and stronger. Biting my words like you don't know who they belong to. Putting much emphasis while I empty this rhyme down your ear. I'm sure you'll envy this. I hook and swing, that's what it took to bring back the old past time. And it's the last time a jam was slammed. Look what we have before us. I think I said enough. Must bust the chorus. This is directed to you and yours. Hold your applause because I'm pursuing to be the best. And yes, what I'm saying, if the track was a class, I pass with an A in control. I roll over suckers who even claim to be on my tip. They even got the same name as me. All you're doing is causing confusion. I'm speaking to you frankly. You need to thank me. I go for broke. My rhyme smoke like a joint. Expressing myself with the help of a ballpoint. Sit back, relax. In fact, take notes. Not only do I break hearts, I break hopes. Can never be taken among those making jams. Thinking it's slam, but the faking. Don't try to bite me or try to fight me or take me lightly. All you do is excite me. The beat is kicking, so I'ma stop this. Rely on the skills and the will to accomplish what I set out to do. And I bet that you listen to the words and bust a step or two. You have the audacity to ask of me to slow down when I throw down so you can laugh with me. Save the drama and all the station you tried to rip, and now it's time to get dealt with.
do. It's that time for established Westside Wednesday vibes on the G-Lew Show. Sit back and enjoy the view where they doing it at. Peace.
I'm King News, and I come to you with the truth. The mean streets took 6 more lives overnight, all the result of gang-bang stupidity. By the way, you gangsters should know, one of your victims was a 3-year-old girl. Local gang members, you still don't get it, do you?
It's straight up madness everywhere I look. Used to be a straight A student, now it's a crook, robbing people just to smoke and shoot up. Used to have a crew cut, now it's a poop butt. Dropped out of school and joined the neighborhood gang. Hanging on the streets selling cane to his own people. Now when I say people, I mean color. You a stupid motherfucker. I'm trying to stress the fact that you're dumb. Get yourself presentable, son, and just come together. You better, cause pretty soon it's gonna be too late. A message from King G the Great.
Sisters, since we are the mothers of this earth, it's time we start being good mothers from the birth of our children. No time for sleeping, teach them to fight and win for the right reason. It's your time, it's your life living. Proud to be black, young and gifted, lifted by the knowledge of taking the right route. Gang violence needs to be wiped out. ALMIGHC, CNDVIRE. We see the FUCURE should be a positive thing. Body and soul and you, we're in the same game.
One and the same, everyone came in the same chain. Caught with the same aim, brain games and names changed. To protect the innocent bystander, lot slander and the master planner. Destroyed the black male crack jail and semi-automatic static if the crack fails. So since we all talk the same slang, stop killing my brother cause we're all from the same gang.
Don't you know we got to put our heads together? Make the change cause we're all in the same gang.
Now as a youth, I used to get my bang on, and on the app get my part-time slang on. This point in time for me was no joke though. They knew I was crazy, so they labeled me loco. Had these trees going past pills 40, low riding and tossing up a 40, thinking in my mind that no one can handle us. The Dallas brothers ever touched Los Angeles. I found life was much more suitable, cause I'm the brother that makes black so beautiful. I ain't slipping her down with a picture. I'm talking to all the blood and all the crips. Throw down your rag and get on the right track, man. It's time to fight tonight and be a black man. Tone Locust on a positive change, cause remember, we all in the same game.
Being the pimps that we are, we're here to speak of a situation that is gone too far. Here at home, it's the ghettos of LA, where a young black girl is not promised to see the next day. Cause we used to come from the streets before we made beef, but fools just lay and pray on the weed. It don't depend on the color of a rag, cause if you got what they want, you know they're gonna take what you have. Cause violence will only revolve from drugs and thugs and gangs that bang most times. It's a political thing. Yeah, a couple of spots to get popped. And if the government wants to fix it, they can all get stopped. But they don't, because they want it like that, because the system is set up to hold us back. Yeah, a brother law means that we can do whatever. So why don't we stick together?
I see, ripping the microphone the way I do. Listen close, my brothers, cause I'm talking to you. The problem is we got a suicidal lifestyle, cause 90% of us are living foul and wild. I say job, you say bad joke. I'd rather jack another brother watch the gun smoke. Living in the fast lane, flipping like you're insane. You won't stop until your blood runs down the street drain. I got an idea, give me a minute, and if it makes sense, then get with it. What if we could take our enemy, feed them poison, undereducate the girls and boys, and split them up, make them fight one another. Better yet, make them kill for a color. All my brothers need to know one thing, no matter what you think, we're all in the same gang.
Don't you know we got to put our heads together? Stop the fight.
Make the change.
Yo, we're not here to preach, yeah, because we're not ministers. We're telling it like it is, cause we're in the dreads like sinister. Reality speaks for itself when it's spoken. A face-head clutch can't blame nobody for smoking. Yo, bullets flying, mothers crying, brothers dying, lying in the streets, that's why we're trying to stop it from falling apart and going to waste, and keeping the smile off a white face. And WA never preaching, just teaching the knowledge of the streets to each and all. They don't understand, that's why we came, to let you know that we're all in the same game.
The J double, F the A, the D, that is, and if you want the solution to the quiz. What's black and black, yo, and kills another, an ignorant sucker that is a label as a brother. another but another. So now it's time we evolve and get together and solve it, cause the world is revolving around a terrible situation. One will kill another for a reputation. So it's time we stop and realize that we're all the same. Yo, Train, tell them
We're all in the same gang.
Brothers, killing other brothers. I thought the idea was to love one another. Open up the paper to one more step. If y'all keep this step, then there'll be no one left. I try my best to set an example, saying hype lyrics over hip-hop samples. Not just to brag at the boast, but to inform, cause I'm living in the calm before the storm. You see, I believe that the children are the future, but what's it all about if in the future they shoot ya? We're all human beings, if a cut would bleed, and I want to see all young people succeed. To 9 to 5, not 5 to 10. Just go to work and not to stay pen. Cause you live better when you're out there free, and that's coming straight to you from the young MC.
I'm in a rage.
Oh yeah? Yo, why is that, G?
Other races, they say we act like rats in a cage. I tried to argue, but check it. Every night in the news, we prove them suckers right, and I got the blues.
America.
Get busy, Humpty.
The red, the white, the blue and the red for Christian bloods, the white for who's got you doing time. Busting caps on one another.
The underground sound for peace amongst brothers.
Kill a black man.
What?
Yo, what are you, retarded?
Tell them, Humpty.
Kill, do you work for the Klan?
Do what you like.
Unless you like gang banging. Let's see how many brothers leave us hanging.
the game that you hang is the one that contains the sisters and the brothers who are all in the same frame of mind. Unless to get loose, it's unity time. Yeah. Peace is a presence that we all need. The future's in our hands in word and deed. I'm Terrible T and I'm Sweet LC with 357 totally.
Kicking on the ab about 8:45. All the homies getting blind in an 8-ball line. Now on this tip, they started running down the lip. Jumped in the deuce and took a little trip. Hit the block about 12 on the tick. The whittles went down and the nines went click. People started yelling, bodies started bailing. Bullets go fire, sending something to hell in. It's gotta stop, we don't need all the violence. Peace in the hood and I'm over the silence. We got together, not for ego or fame. We got involved cause we're all in the same game.
Last but not least, yo, Easy's no sellout. And if you can't hang in the streets, then get the hell out. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You have your own freedom of choice who to listen to. You know good from bad, fast from foul, right from wrong. Now your mother's singing that sad song. My baby ain't never hurt nobody. But he still got smoked at Baby's party. But you're not the first or the last. You're nothing but a short story from the past. You're dead now, not number one but a zero. Take notes from Eazy-E, the violent hero.
Be there. Don't be no square. Every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Westside Wednesdays, presented by G-Lew and Queen Jean. Go on and just hop into the studio line, 914-803-4001, to get your request in every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m., Westside Wednesdays. Thanks to our sponsors, B.D. Harrison, BTP Media, and Tweed Cadillac. Be there. Don't be no square.
Yeah. We on this smooth shit. Hey, taking you back to the old school. Yeah. Who banging in the house? And right about now, we got the real CPTGs up in here. MCA Boom Bam, CM Dub representing to the fullest. Who banging to the fullest? Yeah. I once heard, don't forget where you came from, son. And if you're belling through Compton, you better bring a gun. Cops trying to set up spots and raid niggas, just cause we some fucking paid niggas. Sacks of crack that I used to sell to the swap meet to get my gear and straight bear. What it'll be today, lost my loot. Some 501s or a blue khaki suit. Shoot, if y'all come down the block, stash like a rabbit. Barely escaping the automatic. Tragic is the scene that's left, bringing the pain like meth. The yellow tape means death. Set the fuck off or meet Jamaica. The Tech 9 will take you, be the backbreaker. Out cash flow, the way I was brought up. Keep your hood tight, niggas don't get caught up. Yeah, my life, my life, my life. With the Tech 9, come on. I said my life, my life, my life. Check it out.
I've been in the street game since 86. With MCs on goldies taking gangster flicks. Screaming, fuck you, bitch. Best not trip. Who banging? B4 straps came with clips. 6 shots is all you get. Better put in work or skirt or get covered with damn dirt. My mission is to ride for the rest and make cash and pick off enemies trying to trespass. For sure, I ain't no joke, but it ain't the blood I like, it's the fucking gun that smoke. Provoke any nigga that try to step who's trip. I'ma show him who's fast from the hip. Clap your once, cause G's leave no witnesses. Clap twice out the door. Slow with the creep while they neighbors sleep still. Music to drive by and I'm in too deep. Come on. My life, my life, my life. With the Tech 9. Come on. My life, my life, my life. Fuck one time. Chill. I said my life, my life, my life. In the CPT. I said my life, my life, my life. Who banging gangsters? Check it out. In a 66654 tray of deuce. Real G's dragging it low with much juice. Loose lips and shit is what I was told. While my bankroll fold, I'm leaving your body cold. Down the road since the BG. The OGs had me acting crazy. Like fighting and blasting, cause life ain't funny. Young niggas struggling, best get your money. Creep up in the late night, keep your grip tight. Lay low out of sight and watch the porch light. Cause I ain't got nothing to lose, and I ain't nothing when I'm jumping y'all catching the blues. I need some money and the cola, baby. Don't make me react. Pulls out the strap and then clap. Banging to the fullest in Compton is where we dwellin'. In the West where we yelling while the gay keep selling. Come on. I said my life, my life, my life. With Gia, and that's how we representin' to the fullest. With a real CBG. To the ING, all the way up to South Central, to all my who babies, gangsters in the house. Shit, that's how we doing it. To the West, all day. We don't play. Shit, come on. I said my life, my life, my life. With the Tech 9, come on. I said my life, my life, my life. Fuck one time. Shit.
It's strong as hell in here, man. Y'all look like zombies. What the fuck y'all smoking? Damn, I'm finna go over there, man, give me a brownie or something, man. I can't breathe up in here, man. Y'all on that purple again, huh? I don't know why y'all keep smoking that shit, man. Y'all done scared away the engineers, all these pizza boxes everywhere.
The S is for super and the U is for unique.
I'm a marijuana analyst, fucking with the cannabis. Flame from the bit, keep it lit like candlesticks. I roll them long as a pool stick. Only smoke with people that I'm cool with. Can't handle it, better leave the premises. My bitch don't smoke, but in love with the smell of it. Tastes like grapes, so she roll for the hell of it. Make my lungs hurt every time I'm inhaling it. Tweed don't smoke, so the second hand killing them. But me and Tony Ray still puffing like Indians. About to spark it up, what it do? When I get low, hit up Ryan, say I'm coming through. Only good purple in my circle. Make a square bitch start acting like Urkel. Eyes low so they know we puff dro. Can't stop, won't stop, hell no.
I can't breathe up in here, man. Man, what happened to all the water, man? Y'all done drank up all the Heineken's, all the Avions. Man, y'all back on that purple shit again. Here we go. God damn.
The S is for super and the U is for unique. Super chronic.
Llama, tipping like I'm Obama. Is a llama. Yeah, that's it.
Damn, I knew I shouldn't have gave Tweed no brownies.
I'm tripping off the brownie that I ate. I'm higher than a mother, slow-mo in the place. I'm seeing hella stars and all kind of things. Y'all fools over there looking at me strange. I think I need a little Perrier. Calm down, I feel like I'm floating out in space.
and tell me why the booth's so dark. Turning up the lights, I thought I saw the mic spark. I know I shouldn't have ate them chips, but that's the last time y'all ever seen me then. Y'all laughing, all clowning on the film. It's all good though, Super Chronic is the shit. Man, them brownies was like hell of a good, man. Man, Chronic. Even the potato chips, man, what the fuck? I ain't never had nothing like that before. Chronic. Man, that's just like super duper, man. I love that.
The S is for super and the U is for unique. Super Chronic.
Man, don't a day go by where y'all don't get high. Smoke weed every day. Hey, hey.
Good evening. Do not attempt to adjust your radio. There is nothing wrong.
Are you ready? Product of the 90s.
Welcome to station WEFUNK, better known as We Funk.
Funk in your life. Funk in your life. Funk in your life. Funk in your life.
Okay, what's happening, y'all? This is Young Drizzle the Truth, better known right now as Andre Truth, and you are now rocking and listening to the best G-Lew, man. Old school, Westside Wednesday. We ain't gonna do the old school, man. It's Andre Truth with G-Lew, Westside Wednesday. Y'all know what it is. Talk.
and neighbors experience the pain. They hold back tears, they've got to take a stand. Order padlocks and guns in a heavy demand. The fears won't rest until all behind bars for the rest of his life. The boy will carry the scar. Best friend, mother, father, and a very young daughter. Memories in his mind, loved ones have been slaughtered. Is there any way to compensate a person's life so great a fate? Heaven knows it can't go on. Too many things are going wrong. Who is living for myself? This world is turning to hell. Bad times, these are for real. Bad times is what you and I feel. Help me. All those eyes, they're all out to get me. Wars and murders, when would it cease? I'm being robbed. Someone call the police. Bad times, these are for real. Bad times is what you and I feel. Weather plays havoc on the eastern states. Floods, hurricanes, and you can't escape. Tornadoes drop trees, hurling home and debris, leaving little behind for death and injury. Gonorrhea, syphilis, ran like the plague. Doctors afraid to treat the victim of age. The world is threatened by nuclear war. Americans die in El Salvador. The people pulling homes for solidarity in a speech to seek the people some parity. Begging me to break my camp, neighbor the cord. And ASA Reagan will run in 84. Bad education is just a revelation. But still each year kids draft for graduation. The third world sends out a hunger plea. Teenagers running loose, sexual child abuse. The Bible tells us it's just a prophecy. Bad times, these are for real. Bad times is what you and I feel. Together, you must be hardcore. You just take it on the set. A job you never sweat, cause the application form is too common.
out to the homie. He really did that like in one take. Seemed like he just did that all in one take, in one breath. Shout out to the homie. That's a classic right there. One of the first records put on wax in L.A. We're doing L.A. history hip hop tonight. It's one of the classics right there. Shout out to Duffy Hooks, the whole crew. Rest in peace. And I forgot what I was going to say. But as we continue on this Westside Wednesdays radio show, we'll be back after this commercial.
Just hit the corner store. You know what I'm looking for. St. Just hit the corner store. You know what I'm looking for. St.
To the door with a box of 4 O's. Party just a bouncing house below. No set tripping, just sipping on ST. That's how we do it in the LBC. Hear ye, come on, come on. It's the first annual G-Nick and all my dogs are invited, so don't enlight it. Cause it's the first time in a long time, and I just might reminisce about the Fresh Fest back in 85 when the Dubs and the Saniacs used to who ride. It was easy just to serve on the curb, that's how I do. Ain't no slipping, dipping, now I'm sipping on my roots. Ain't it true? Cause now I'm supposed to grab my little friend, then my deuce. I get loose with my hands on my drink. LBC, I see money in the bank, St. Oz.
Hey, this big roadblock, MERCED, you know what I'm saying, from the 209 Central California. I'm checking out the homie G-Lew on Westside Wednesdays, you know what I'm saying? Like, once again, original music group, this big roadblock. Hit up the homie G-Lew, y'all check out the homie on Westside Wednesdays and on the OG Sundays. Y'all come cool with the homie while we put it in, you know what I'm saying? Low riders, oldies, getting it in, you know, get a dedication to your girl or to your man or whatever you want to do. But y'all check out the homie. That's G-Lew. That's Westside Wednesdays. And we getting it in with the underground artists. And then y'all hit them up again on Sundays, on the OG Sundays. But that's the homie G-Lew. Lewis House. Y'all know who he is. This big road block 209 MERCED. BIGBLOCC. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all holler at the homie. One.
Who's playing all that damn loud ass music out there? Turn that shit down, man. Don't you know I'm trying to get some sleep here? Huh? What you say? I'll go upside your goddamn head, man. You don't turn that damn music down, man. Woman, call 911, get these niggas off this goddamn street. I got shit to sleep now.
Yeah, killing off suckers is me. You stupid trying to take me for some punk MC. I'm here to stack dollars. Rap's not cheap. Cop is most wanted, punk rolling so deep. Gas that I'm packing, sucker better quit a back and slapping dumb girls cause my rhymes don't hit. Punk on the smooth tip, kicking that butt. Had too much St. I just started throwing it up. Super lyricist, yeah, cold in fact. I'm spraying all your faggot fake MC jack. Boy, I smack and rack and pack and stack and smash all the suck MC in the wall like a tack. So chill. What's up? Tell these punk fools that they ran out of luck. Hey yo, hey, what's up? Boy, I think it's sad enough. Till I ain't the shit. Until I call a punk bluff. Put you on the punishment. Haters like your father. Wanna beg? Sucker, don't bother. Last place MCs. Think you can handle this? 1, 2, 3. Drop the through to the canvas. It's time to start punking. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got the picture. I can miss the screen.
Boy, hold up. The chills on the stage. CMW's like a Hub City Army Brigade. Get no slack, do no black or no punk new jack. Get racked like that because your rhymes are whack. So hit me with your best shot and boy, you see how to chill and the A drop punk MC. For credit never due to your suckers that's faking it. Call it a jack, but yo, I'm just taking it. Your money, your gold, your fortune and your fame. So hang it up because you got no game. To this better, I'm getting better. You're talking trash, punk, just shut up. Leave it to the chill, yeah, I take care of business. That's that, cause 8 is the witness. A super hype, mellow, confident, cold shit, a lyricist. Like a scary movie, suckers play fearness. In fact, you're a boat caught in thick ass balls. But this my damn posse, yo, I'm dropping the stars. Should just chill as the chill explains. And when it comes to getting over, I know all the game. So suckers don't chop me like a backstreet junkie. The CMW's cold running, rhymes too bump. CMW, is that you, man? Yeah. Keep on playing that shit.
rhymes flowing. Educated at a high degree, diploma of the streets as I down and see. I get kinda low, wine pressure rises, I start to unload with all kind of surprises, more than unusual, sort of creative. Punks want beef, it's your ultimatum. Now responsible, fuck of what happens to you later. Hater get crazy, feel like the Terminator. I'm coming to you gently, not too hyper. Spot you in the crowd, take you out like a sniper. So leave it up to 8, cause it has to be done. Never feel safe without my 9-hand gun. Not a soldier nor a trooper, claim no name of a judge. Just a hard cop, the lyricist, putting in work. So all you sucker niggas, MC punk riders, all you sorry soft jacks, call yourself riders. 8 knows the deal, got the scoop on your rap. So sucker, hang it up because you got no hat. I stand in one position, mom start releasing, fresh dope rhymes, brother start piecing. Hardcore brother, static's not included, gave you punch a chance, damn, you blew it. Rhymes never thought of, cause I got rhythm, lyrical madness is what I'm here to give them. The 9 that I pack got a special permit for taking out jacks that run the list. Yo, this only money, dope rhymes hitting, A starts to tagging, punk no kid. This posse's in effect, suckers here to trouble you. A chill, cool, TJ, and CMW, wiping out rookies. Punk new booty, stop hyping for the record, boy, don't be choosy. Wipe you in a second, it's how the chills living. I get most keys cause girls keep giving. Got you on the ropes, start to 1-2-ing, try to claim champ, but crowd starts booing. It's pretty obvious, the chill got the knack to grab the MIC and start the vicious attack. Suckers get hot, but chill stays cooler. I seen better rhymes written by a preschooler. I'm the teacher, schooling all punks, that's stepping. As a student, you're supposed to listen to the lesson. Rhyme funk. Yeah, I like to say what's up to my homie MC Ren out there. DJ Slip on the scene, you know what I mean? Yeah, this a down MC8. I like to say what's up to all my homeboys from time. Kicking it, you know what I'm saying? No chill. What's happening? Let's stab out of here.
Yeah, this is KB, this your favorite Eastside nigga. We are on Westside Wednesdays with your homie G-Lew, and this was and this is the Eastside edition, just like that. Moving.
Little Looney got out of Tracy as they closed the gate. He said, fuck him, I'm going back into my old ways. 357 on hippin' for my neighborhood. Tell him 6, so I'm a crip, I'm a Kev Mac. Sonny Mac, Goalie Ryan and Wake Up. PD Wap, Big Smurf and Tone, I'm back to all my bullshit, money and fucking these hoes. Crease khakis with my Mariners hat with my clothes. Fresh perm for these bitches, I'm fresh as can be. But still the haters wanna test me and bustin' their teeth. I took her back to a rival, now I got a charge. Down up in prison, me a teaspoon up in the yard. Baby flip there too and no smut on my name. Real cripper for the set, I'm a beast in the game. 89, now I'm back and I started my clique. I couldn't think a name for it till memory hit. I was a teen up in juvie and watching the movie. A cowboy flick influenced the name that I'm choosing. Over Hill 6-0 and we pushing our line. Crenshaw the Fox Hills, remembered in time. Little Louie, remembered in time. Real niggas from the city, they never would die. Little Louie, remembered in time. Real niggas from the city, they never would die. Little Louie, remembered in time. Real niggas from the city, they never would die. Little Louie, remembered in time. Real niggas from the city, they never would die. Local band, Banker T, I look up to them niggas. Gladiators from the setting, you know we the biggest. Little feet tatted on me, you know it's in view. So ain't no question where I'm from, cause I'm covered in blue. Big Q, Big D, Little Slim with me. Court Dog and PJ, we is the real 60s. Never running from the robbers and we deal with them. Baby, wait, my nigga Smurf, Mangler here, niggas. Real soldiers, we are vets like it's Vietnam. 6 times 10, drink it till the liquor's gone. But one day I met my fate and it was from behind. I took a bullet for the set, but remembered in time. So next time you think about me, just look in the sky and see my face up in the heavens and throw me a sign. I represented to the day that my breath was no more. Real nigga from the set, don't forget me at all. Little Looney, remember the time. Real niggas from the set, and they never would die.
wins that we lost. Love y'all.
Hey, let me shout some people tuned in right now. Shout out to the 818-626-213 on the check-in, 310-714-909, and everybody else tuned in. You know what it is, baby. Westside Radio.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. G-Lew, Maniac on the track. Back to the 80s. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. G-Lew going back to the 80s with the homie Maniac and back-to-back Mercedes. Beats to the rhyme, for the track go crazy. This that rap to attract all the ladies. 18 to 80, blind, cripple, and crazy. Black, brown, and yellow, we can all make babies. G-Lew, I'm the life of the party. Mix 8 ball with Patron and Bacardi. Just like Helmer said, we can get it started. Turn this motherfucker out and get retarded. I'm the hardest out the BC section. Came in class 89 and started wrecking. Like Kane said, ain't no half stepping. If you banged, it wasn't no half repping. Homie, we the best and do this from the west. Started off last, but now we got next. All I do is write rhymes, catch red eye flights in and out the LAX. What's next? We taking over the world. Going back to the 80s, coming back to Pearl. That's my word, as you heard, it gets deeper. Let that bass go deep inside your speaker. I'm the teacher, giving y'all the game. Money over bitches ain't a damn thing changed. In my Benzo, switching 4 lanes with a top back, thanking God for another day. It's my play and I'll play it how I feel. Said fuck the middleman, skipped over the deal. Back to back, go black, that means a meal. Now Maniacs on the wheels of steel. Then we broke the record down to the bone. Now you got G-Lew on the microphone. Shaking them up, breaking them up. Put the message in the bottle, now we waking them up. Now we spit those raps, that's superb. We don't trap, we serve it off the curb. Made my swerves, got it in where I fit. Made my debut verse back way in 86. Now I'm fixed in a mix of main man. With no handouts, only hand to hand. G's don't dance, we boogie, all we do is this. 2-step elbows, 2 fists.
Boom. Wait a minute, hold on. Get your ass out.
What's up, nigga?
Get over there.
What's going down?
Shit.
Yo, punk ass basshead nigga.
Come here.
You a punk.
Look here. Shut up, John.
Man,
John,
shut
shut up. Come here. Come here. Look, boy. Look. Look, goddammit, you stop that shit now. You talking to me now, boy. Don't tell me what to do here.
Hey, Gerald. Man, I hate him, man.
Okay. Don't say shit to these people while I'm over there.
All right, I'm going to lead you, Ron. Seriously.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, look.
He's a punk.
Look.
What's up, nigga? What's up?
John,
I will bust your little punk ass up, nigga.
Now,
you
look.
Don't want none,
hey,
nigga.
I asked you to go stand on your yard, man.
You running up on me.
Get up. Okay. All right. John, get out of here. Let's go home. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get out of here. Get out of here.
straight him to jail.
Some of the swear this shit with the news run out there.
He says it's not gang.
Fuck police coming straight from the underground.
Man, you know how that shit go. You feel me, Run Law? I'm just sitting right here chilling, thinking about what we think about, you know what I mean, doing what we do. And I'm just watching it and looking around, you know what I'm saying? We got the bird in the background right now. But this shit getting so real. You feel me? This shit getting so real. Nigga don't know if they gonna make it back. And it ain't even just by the hands of another nigga. We got police popping on niggas. We got other kinds busting on niggas. Everywhere we look. We the enemy, and we even the enemy of ourselves. So all I gotta say is, what's happening with black people? Everybody hate black people, even black people. What we gonna do? How we gonna change the game? Cause they said the revolution wouldn't be televised, but I'm seeing it on the big screen. You understand me? I'm seeing it right in my face. You understand me? Is you the police or is you the KKK? What is this? I thought we meant business. So I got a heart like Martin. I ain't gonna lie, but I got a mind like Malcolm, and it's by any means necessary. I got a son, gotta grow up in this world. Nephews gotta grow up in this world, but I'd rather die in this world than to live like a coward on my knees for crumbs in this world. Let's make it happen, cause it's happening. It's spinning down, it's spiraling down. Niggas wanna be bitches, bitches wanna be niggas. You can marry anything, ain't no God in the law, ain't no God in school, and then they wonder why God ain't showing up protecting their kids when they running in there shooting it up, cause you don't want them there. Ain't no rules, ain't no regulations in this game. Young niggas running wild in the streets every day. Ain't no respect, ain't no love, ain't no family, ain't no together. Cube said only way to beat us is cheaters. They infiltrating us with our own kind, got us brainwashed. Niggas doing 20 and 30 years, laying niggas down. But these niggas out here with money though, they making money off Black Lives Matter. Niggas wanna make t-shirts, and all these rapping niggas and all that wanna get on Instagram and all that. Nigga, fuck all that, nigga. Come to the set, nigga. Come to the motherfucking hood, buy some of this property these white motherfuckers buying up, nigga. We need housing. Niggas been on Section 8 for 30 motherfucking years. Niggas don't got nowhere to go. Niggas out in these streets. Niggas need a motherfucking job. Nigga, yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I got 2 stripes. Nigga, but who gon' hire me, nigga? So it's no choice but to jump over the motherfucking counter, nigga. The system has been designed, nigga, for us to fall.
The motherfucking saga continues.
All hell to those believing in the real gangster shit. Cause when it comes to the real niggas, it makes the shit that much harder to deal with.
Yeah, above the laws in this motherfucker. Black mafia for life. Down with the real niggas for life. Yo, sweet talk. Tell them what the fuck we here for.
Well, alright, y'all. USC, Compton, Watson, Newwood, all across the motherfucking USC. They go and walk through the valley of real niggas. I should be no man or no motherfucking clan. Hit me one. Cause I've been to the mountaintop, y'all, and I done seen through the eyes of a real nigga.
Yo, what you think about the real niggas 187?
Yo, they make some of the coolest shit I done never heard.
Yo, for me, KMG, I must give it up to the ruthless motherfucking gangsters. Fear no mob.
Because you're stiff, man, you're stiff. Turn the pussy world that you're stiff, man. Them not silly mama clan mob and no silly pussy clan world. Keep Babylon on the run, see.
The real niggas is back cause there's too many bullshit records out. Niggas fiending for what we put out, but you don't have to wait no longer. Because the new album is out and the shit is much stronger. So many groups made 3 albums or more, and that weak ass shit still sitting in the record store. They wonder why it never sold. Niggas rapping since the 70s still never went gold. Our first record sold 2 million copies. That's because your other motherfuckers are sloppy. You came out streets and crossed over, and after that your career's fucking over. Because of that you're not around. So shut the fuck up and witness the sound of some real niggas. Keeping all you busters on the run and 9-1. Kick that shit, man. Most niggas can't understand and never would have been part of the ruthless mafia clan. Niggas is dedicated to the streets, but I fucking lyrics in the dope ass beat. Because I never cut score, because I come off. So don't get in my way, cause motherfucker you get cut off. And it's something you can move your lips to. The rap around my dick to suck if it fits you. And let me know when you wanna ride the D-I-C-K. All day, that's with no play, cause ain't no rap groups out that I know to make me wanna listen to the radio. All I hear is motherfuckers trying to make a comeback with love songs, and that shit is whack. And that's why your ass ain't around, cause you don't have the motherfucking sound of a real nigga.
It's your boy, man, D go, man. Live and direct, man. Right here, man, from South Central Los Angeles, man, a.k.a. Eastside Watts, man. And I'm right here with my boy G-Lew, man, on the G-Lew show, man. Much love, homie. Keep it popping, man. Keep them listening, man. Keep killing them.
Hey, what's happening, man? This your boy Big Y, man. You know what I'm saying? Rocking with my nigga G-Lew, Westside Wednesday. Y'all know what it is. Woo.
Yes, sir. It's Westside Wednesdays, the G-Lew Show, Blog Talk Radio, OG Music, you know, G-Lew Queen Jean, so fresh, so clean. Yes, sir. It's G-Lew, throwing up the W for Westside Wednesdays. No, not to trouble you. Back up in it on the scene with Queen Jean, no mean, but keep a whole lot of good green. Too clean, never do a half-ass. Gotta say rest in peace to the homie badass. On smash, do the shit the flyway. 110 East, blowing gas on the highway. I stay with a Blog Talk Radio every single Wednesday. That's the only way to go. Whether Rosecrans, Broadway, or Slauson, you can find an OG like me flossing. With the Westside Car Club, Brick City made on the plaque. Cadillac when I park, cuz. Show me love, but don't show me shit. In the words of the big homie DJ Quick, ain't nothing like black pussy on my dick. When I stand up in it like a candlestick. We make hits for you to bang this shit. Got my own station, so you know I'm gonna play this. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, no, we right here at the G-Lew Show. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, no, we right here at the G-Lew Show. You know, it's Westside Wednesdays, the G-Lew Show. Every Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific, 10 to 12 Eastern. G-Lew with the lovely Miss Queen Jean. Yeah. Sponsored by BTP Media Group, 93.3 FM Islam, OG Music and the Westside Car Club. Come on. Come join us every Wednesday night. Where they doing it at. And you do know that. Rest in peace, badass. Tonight we just been giving it up for some history in hip-hop, mainly L.A. hip-hop. For 50 years of hip-hop, we've been celebrating on Westside Wednesday. Before I continue, let me go to the phone lines. Got a caller out there. Caller, hello.
Hello, 50 years of L.A. hip-hop. Los Angeles is definitely in the world. We've influenced the world. We're recognized, respected across the world. None other than the G-Lew Show, man, Westside Wednesdays. A premium staple in the community, man. We want to thank you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I accept this on behalf of the people. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
I'm okay, man. Just it's hump day, and I want to be humping on something. And I ain't talking about no Lee Max. I ain't talking about no humpback camels. Yes,
right.
Sir.
Show you right. Show you right. It's a beautiful thing. What we got popping tomorrow night, man?
Thinking about coming back, man, with a Crazy House episode. I got some good ones. I
almost played that commercial earlier too. That's crazy.
Wow, yeah, I got some good ones planned up because like I haven't done one this month, so we're about to end the month. It's like, let me show you the stupidity of the masses out here all across the nation. I got some good ones, so we finna do the Crazy House tomorrow night, man. So make sure to tell a hater, tell a player to tune in tomorrow night. It's going down. And I'm going to show you things not to do. I could save your life, stop you from getting beat up, stop you from going to jail. Man, people are they're just so stupid. The funny part about it today, I saw a clip where a girl had accused a black guy of stealing her phone. And it's like, I didn't steal your phone. And he had his girl with him, and his girl wanna mess her up. She's a white girl. They're black, right? So the white girl slapped the black dude, and he gave her 100 chances. Look, man, just apologize. I'm not tripping. I don't have your phone. I didn't take your phone. I don't have to take your phone. Just apologize. She's crazy. Well, give back my phone, and I'll apologize. So she slapped him, and that nigga slapped her back. And then she went crazy. Here come the crocodile tears. Why you slap me? He slapped a girl. Oh, it was funny. And the whole time his girlfriend wanted to beat her up. He held his pit bull back. She was ready to just get with her. It's like, you got what you deserved. So can you apologize? Because we don't have your phone. Just crazy, man. The people, man, of the world today, nobody respect nobody. Everybody just think that they can just talk to people any old kind of way, and ain't nothing gonna happen. It's funny. She definitely gonna get the booty juice. Well, actually, I got something crazier than that. But tomorrow we passing out booty juice injections like BBLs. It's going down.
There it is. It's going down, y'all. 93.2 FMism tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific, Blog Talk Radio. Tune in, right? Yeah.
That's right.
We'll be right back.
Tell a hater to tell a player.
Yeah. Check this out, y'all.
Never was a guy to keep my eye on just one girl. No, I get away quick from any chick before I got tied down.
Life is a mystery at this point, more like a myth to me. Our past is in the past, so stop bringing up old history based on his story and not my story intentionally. See, even my haters say I'm a great guy before they start trying to diss me, and that's a total waste. Cause to disrespect me, you would need to have me earn your respect in the first place. You a junior woodchuck and ain't got that marriage badge, doofus. Now who's the doofus while I'm sitting in something ruthless? Bumping easy does it, feeling so ruthless, but that ain't my label. I control the horizontal and the vertical. Outlier, outsider from the outer limits. Spouting hot fire, you a dick rider catching vertigo. I'm the umpire, always seeing what you throw. Phony ass bitch niggas didn't believe me back then. Now I call them misdoubt fire. But I get carried away, forgive me. That's the past. Your mind can, get too emotional and you start getting lost in all these stories and I get carried away. I need to stay focused on the right now. Hey, Tweet, thank you for having me, brother. Salute to the legend.
For every action, there's a reaction. It truly depends on how I react to your actions. No emotion will be shown. You can't get up under my skin, I'm grown. That's not what men do. So to be perfectly honest, I can see through you. Some cats don't even have a clue. I ain't studying you, you ain't me and I ain't you. Look at your suit, you couldn't fit my shoes. No need for me to ever lose my cool. In public especially, looking like a fool. Me get carried away? Not really. That's what females do, they have emotional tirades. I'm too busy slaying MCs. Spitting this street pen poetry with the greatest of ease. Blowing minds on records ain't a hobby, so I refuse to do it sloppy. You got me?
motherfucking Westside, nigga. A-Hypes in the motherfucking house. Yeah. And right about now, MC chillin', boom bam to the motherfucking house. Have fun to the house. Lil Hawk and Birds in the house. Sunday morning, I wake up to watch the track. Don't know if it's gonna be a good day. Yeah, I loads up the tape for safety. The city with no pity, cause motherfuckers is crazy. Hit the sounds of screams and hollers. Somebody pissed off my fucking rock waller. So I grabbed the bucket tech and I steps to the back of the fence. Cause these niggas ain't got no sense, but I ain't slipping. Got to start my steady dipping. 2 straps in the stash, cause 8 ain't slipping. G. And when we roll, we ain't giving a damn. MC8 and Fool Chill and my homie Boom Bam in the 6 tray. And you know I'm hanging on, flaming up the fools with much titanium. And ain't no love for you bitches, scheming on my riches, so I leave you hitting switches. Yeah, and on this part of town we do the dirt fool. Yeah, and we put in much work. We work hard to run the motherfucking yard. And while I'm dipping, I might catch you slipping, so keep up your guard. And watch out, I'll give you the whole 9 murder rap while I'm peeling your cap. Fool, I'm going for mine in the 9-4. I'm down with 8 hype, see you full of hoes, so I can read your fucking blood type. Boom, bam, wreck the whole damn program. Middle finger goes up to Uncle Sam. Not a devil, yo, so don't try to hex a brother for the bad luck. You can get the X. Boom, boom, I blast kinda fast from the trigger. One more put down by the boom bam nigga. And that's how the story gets told down for the dirt ride. And we put in much work. I'm in it to win it, so I fix my motherfucking foot down. They can't hang, this is a gang, sorry clown. Niggas on the run, call us 3 the hard way. Got to get my green, so I guess that is payday. But I watch your back, cause I'm never in sight. Jacking, pump fools every weeknight. Niggas be popping that trash, but it's the same old slang. The chill for mix a motherfucking Compton thing. Fool, this is my hood, this is my block. Fools try to trip, say hello to the fucking Glock. And we don't play games when it comes to getting pesos. Not giving jack to your fake hoes. To keep a lock on your stack when chill's jacking. 5 crazy niggas all dressed in black. And girl, keep your hands on your purse. The sight goes up for the funky 4th verse of the put in much work. No, not Peter, the pumpkin eater. Better yet, eat the Peter, punk beater. Punks get popped with the fucking laser scope. Busting open their chestes like they OD'd on dope. The psycho motherfucker with the mental illness. Any punk nigga talk shit, I'll kill his. Cap with the strap and I ain't faking the phone. Like my homie Too Short, it comes straight from the trunk. One time can't gaffle me up, but I could feel him. Yeah, I'm waiting in the cut so I could feel him. Like the lynch mob, fuck the devil for improvement. Not a Muslim, but I'm down for the black movement. Run when we dip in the 6 tray. Yeah, you can say that shit for yesterday. A hard-headed motherfucker down for the dirt. Yeah, and we put in much work. Come on. Yeah, in the motherfucking house for the 91st shot. Put in much work, you know what I'm saying? MC8, you say slip, high bounce. 8 hypes in this bitch. Niggas on the run in this bitch. Lil Hawk and Bird. And that's how we flowing the motherfuckers here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. We did it again. Westside Wednesdays radio show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Don't forget tomorrow night, Tweet Cadillac 93. Tweet FM ISM 7 p.m. Pacific. Don't forget to go to the YouTube channel, log in, subscribe. Conversations in the Hookah Lounge Saturday. Oldies Rule Forever Sundays. And Friday, we got a brand new interview. Riders for Life Films, the homie. Tap in Friday night, YouTube, G-Lew Show, log in. And with that being said, we're out of here. Much love and respect. Until next time, peace and love from the G-Lew Show.
sitting in the house watching his food by stealth. The little homies outside yelling for me, let's go. They say the plug came through, then the blood came through. Shooting at every nigga out front wearing blue. In a bright red Regal, yeah, them niggas was biting. Heard them yell Paru, the little nigga jumped out it. Did y'all shoot that motherfucker? Nah, cuz got away. How he look, light skin with CK on his face. Nigga, we heading down the Grand tonight. Don't kill no kids, kill they mama, make them feel it for life. Burn they red rags up, fuck that black life shit. Fuck you gang banging folk. Blood hanging with the Crips. I got homies doing life right tight to the streets. When you niggas hit the pin, y'all getting fucked for turning weak. Hey, there they go. Try